As I stepped into the ballot box last year, I found myself asking a question that you may have asked before too. Who are these people? Why are they running? On this show, I hope to answer those questions for you and for me. I'm going to be covering only local politics. Why only local? Because national politics is broken and I can't fix that. But maybe I can make a difference here in Greene County. I'm Levi Kirby, and this is Man Without a Party. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tell our audience who you are, a little bit about yourself, background, and why you're running for state representative.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Josh Day. I'm running for the District 71 State House seat. So that's the area that covers the eastern part of Greene County, all of Clinton County, and bottom little sliver of Clark County. I'm an aerospace engineer. I went to school, got my bachelor's from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Arizona, and then while working, got a job working for the Air Force as a civilian aerospace engineer, and while working, I put myself through school for my master's. I got that through Auburn, and that was a great experience working as an aerospace engineer. I got to work on a lot of different programs for the Air Force, leading teams, leading lots of engineers, working with different diversity of people, of engineers, of maintenance people, of program managers, and each one thinks a little different, does a little different, but I got an opportunity to kind of work and lead those teams and do that. And recently I just switched over to work for GE now, and now I lead their flight test programs for their hypersonic flight test efforts. So pretty big role with them in doing that. When we moved out here, things just really fell into place, and we felt like this was our opportunity where we could settle down and really enjoy the people, enjoy the culture, and give back to our communities. And then as my kids were getting ready to go to school, I decided that the thing that I could best do, because I grew up in a family where my dad was a high school teacher, my mom was like the class mom. She was always there, always doing all this stuff with us. And I wanted to be involved for them, but with a job, I can't be the class mom, be in the classroom, so I decided to run for school board and just be there, make sure that my thought was it's better to have the right person in the job at the right time than have to go back and fix decisions later on. And so I figured with my experience and my knowledge and ability to work with people, I could run and make a difference there. And I think that I have. In my going on 3 years in the school board, we've done a lot, had a lot of progress, and we're still working to make a lot more progress. But I've learned a lot. I've learned how to work with so many different people from different sides of the aisle even, and how to work towards a common goal of providing a quality education for our kids. Now, for running for the state representative seat, I know our current representative being term limited out, thought would be a good opportunity that I could take all of this experience, this knowledge, this ability to work with all these different people and these relationships I built, and hopefully provide a good, solid, strong voice for our community in Columbus. Because for the past 8+ years, we haven't received a lot of our own tax dollars back from Columbus. We haven't seen a lot of progress in our communities. We're overrun with homeless. We're overrun with these facilities. And I think, while some of that stuff is good, if we don't have the money, the tax dollars, things to support those, or even to support our first responders, our police, fire, our teachers, all of that stuff, then we're going to continue to fail as a community. We won't be able to build each other up. People will want to leave the community. And what I want is for people to be proud of their community and to want to stay here and grow and lift where they are, and lift those around them. And so that's why I wanted to be able to run for state rep to help provide that voice and provide a little bit of hope to the people in our communities.
With the fact that most housing in the United States is older, a lot of it built, during the post-war boom, and the fact that most new housing being built is more on the upper middle class side, or even middle class, but also upper middle class, more expensive builds. Do you think there's any role that the state government has in trying to incentivize developers to build more affordable housing units?
Off the bat, I'm very wary of government getting involved and forcing or trying to promote something like that. But on the other hand, I think there are some things the government can do. I mean, we've seen in Xenia, for example, like you're saying, we have a lot of older houses. I think we have over 50% of our residents are renters. And those rent prices continue to grow and grow and grow, and we're actually pricing out our own residents from Xenia. And I think there are ways we can solve that problem first, where we keep hedge funds and corporations and big groups from buying and rental properties and single family homes and things, and then increasing those prices and and that would help drive that down. And then if you're able to keep those prices low, the whole housing economy shifts or stabilizes, instead of having this incredible boom that we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years. And so that would probably be my number one, is working on that issue, and hopefully helping those lower middle to lower income families and being able to afford where they currently are and not having to move from where they currently are. And then we can look at a diversity of homes. How do we establish a diversity? Because communities, again, like Xenia, like Wilmington, we can't, if we incentivize these lower income, lower priced homes, you bring in a lot of those people, which is great, but the community still needs enough tax dollars, enough money to provide infrastructure, schools, first responders. And so you need a good mix. You need a mix of the lower income, you need a mix of the higher income in order to have a fully functioning community. And so you really have to look at, if you're going to do something like that, which communities can afford some of that, because right now Xenia would not be able to afford something like that. But maybe some of the other big cities or cities that have a little more could.
All right, thank you. And then there's a proposal at the State House. I think it's coming up. It could come up for a vote this fall to eliminate the state income tax. What's your opinion on that?
I think that we need to do something to lower taxes. And again, there's a give and take here. We have to look, is income tax really the driver in Ohio, or is it property tax? If we eliminate the income tax, we can't do anything about property tax, and property tax can continue to raise and raise and raise. And you probably don't see that same amount of influx in the income tax. But if we were instead able to do something about property taxes, to keep those low, to put a cap or something on those, then we could see maybe a little bit better relief in the long term in taxes than with just getting rid of the income tax. So that's a piece of it. So we have to decide what really is the best option there. But then the bigger question is okay, if you're going to get rid of taxes, you need to reduce spending. And so that is one of the things that I really want to do. I mean, we've seen over, I think, almost 130%, 135% increase in spending in the state of Ohio over the past 3 to 5 years. And that's crazy to me. Passing $2 billion spending plans in the state of Ohio. I mean, we really, we need to look at where are we spending the money? Are there programs that we're giving money to that aren't effective? Can we take that money and put it towards other programs or just completely cut those things out? Working for the government for as long as I did in the Air Force, I mean, you just see these bloated budgets and so many layers as money is just spent all over the place. And then you look at what your return is, and it's often a very little return. And I find that a problem with the government in general is we give them so much tax dollars and we see very little return on the money that we entrust to our representatives.
Thank you. Given the scandal of the last House speakership, obviously it is paramount to have somebody of integrity and character in as the Speaker of the House. Do you think Jason Stephens is that person? Do you support Huffman in his bid to come across from the Senate and potentially run against Stephens as Speaker?
I think when you go into an agreement, when you go into a discussion with somebody, I want both parties to be truthful, to be upfront, and to say what they mean and do what they say. And so, to me, what happened with Speaker Stephens was not good character, and I wouldn't be able to support him because of his past actions and going behind people's backs for power. Now, with that said, I've talked to President Huffman a couple of times. I like some of the things he's done and some of the things he stands for. And so if he were to be the nominee, I would fully support him. But I also really am interested in having the caucus where we discuss who should be the nominee and who is the right person for that. And so if there are other options, there are people that put forward their name that I think would stand up for what our values should be in Columbus, that would be the person that I would support.
All right, thank you. And with your experience on the school board, depending on what ranking you look at, it changes somewhat. But generally speaking, Ohio ranks somewhere in the middle to lower of the pack educationally in the United States. I think I saw it as low as 36th even. What can the state government be doing about that? Or is this primarily a problem with cities?
So the state does have some influence. I think they've taken a good step forward in bringing the science of reading in. It's a proven method to helping children learn to read and having very good success. And so I think that's a good step forward. I really... The education system is hard because there are many studies that happen that are produced of good ways to educate children, and I think we get very entrenched in what our ideas of what the public education system should be based on what we went through as kids and how everybody should follow the same thing because I ended up okay, and maybe that's not true. I love here in Ohio seeing the amount of career centers that we have popping up and STEM schools and other options for kids to be able to learn because some kids just don't learn well in what we call the normal school environment. So being able to adopt some of those things from the state level and having more influence on those types of programs and even bringing those programs into our public schools as high priority options, I think would go towards improving the school experience. But apart from that, I also think it is a big impact is your local community and how involved you can get your local community. And so That's why you see areas where the higher income areas have very successful schools, because you have typically two-parent households and stable families, and areas where a parent can go volunteer in the schools, or after school they're working with their kids on their reading and spelling and everything else. And then in areas where you don't have that you have more lower income areas, it's harder for parents to be able to do those things, and it's a struggle. And so I think the government can also, at the state level, have influence and impact on that. If you're able to help families have some of that time where, there are families that struggle with childcare and things like that, and how, if you're able to help, a parent no longer has to rely on the government if they can be able to afford childcare and go to work. If they're able to do those things, not only are they showing their kid that, hey, we can do things for ourselves, and that motivates their kid, but then they also can come back home and be a part of their family and work with their kids and provide them a stable childhood where they are able to read and learn and grow.
All right, thank you. And that's all I have. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hi, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to hear the candidates speak for themselves. Please check out the other interviews in the series. More will be on the way soon. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends for more content like this. It helps support local journalism and keeps you informed on what's going on in Greene County. If you would like to see a candidate interview or a subject in local politics covered, leave a comment below. We can't make any promises, but we would love to hear your suggestions. Thanks.